Math 2, Unit 5, Quiz 2 review. Okay, so we basically learned everything in this unit. Okay, so now it's just a matter of making sure that we can remember everything. Okay, so this right here is a figure. It doesn't exactly tell us what it is. So we're going to have to end up hopefully figuring that out. What's something that you notice on this figure? All congruent sides. So right there, since we know all sides are equal, what is something that I could find? N. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's find N. How would I do that? Okay, good. 12n minus 8 equals 7n plus 17. And again, we know based on all the markings, right, how it has these single marks here around the figure, that each of those sides are equal. Very good. You are correct. N does equal 5. So I'm going to subtract 7n to both sides. At the same time, I'm going to add 8. If you're not comfortable doing that, you can do that at 2 different steps. But I have all my n's together, all my plain numbers together. 12 minus 7 is 5n. And then 17 plus 8 is 25. And then we divide by 5 to both sides, and n does equal 5. So I'm going to go up here and put a 5. Okay. So what else do you think we know? If all the sides are equal, x is what? I don't know if x is 42. Oh, y is 42. I would agree. Y is 42. What else do we know? If you look at your yellow cards, let's pull them out. Okay, first of all, does a rectangle have all equal sides? No, only a rhombus and a square. So if we're looking at a rhombus and a square, what do we know? What happens with the diagonals? So no matter what, because this has all congruent sides, that means that my diagonals make what? So therefore, what is z? Very good. This is 90 degrees. So if this is 90, can I find out what x is? 58 is correct. So however you do that, if you wanted to add 90 plus 42 together, and that equals 132, and then we take 180 minus 132, and we have to borrow, and we end up getting 48. There is an easier way of doing that. For instance, these two should add to be 90, right? Because 90 and 90 makes 180. But either way, it doesn't really matter. So what figure do you think this is? It is a rhombus. Okay, so are there any questions about that one? No, we're good? Okay, let's move on to the next figure. So I think by looking at this, you might be able to figure out what it is. The name of it, do you guys know? Trapezoid. Okay. I would agree. It is a trapezoid. Okay, and we can go over here and look at our trapezoids. Okay. So how am I going to figure out what x is?
You would set 36 plus 12x plus 16 is equal to 2 times 8x plus 12.
Yes, I'm going to do it a different way, but yes. So we add these two, and then once we add these by 2, we divide it by 2 and set it equal to 8x plus 12. Shelby set it up differently, which is totally fine. But we just need to remember that we're taking the average. And so we're adding the top and the bottom, and we divide it by 2 in order to equal that middle line. Okay, but we don't want this to end up, it's hard to deal with fractions sometimes, so how do I get rid of the fraction? Multiply by 2, so it cancels that out, but then you have to go to the other side and multiply it by 2, and you have to multiply every single term by 2 there. Okay, and so we end up with 36 plus 12x plus 16 equals what? 16x, good. And then what should I do now? Good, combine like terms. And so we have 12x plus 52 equals 16x plus 24. We need to get all of our x's together. So, yes?
Wait, it wouldn't be 64?
64. That we're not squaring, we're multiplying by 2. Is that what you're talking about? This 8? 8 times 2, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, obviously, so you just should.
Yeah, 8 times 2 is 16, and 12 times 2 is 24. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 12x to get all of our x's together. And then if you're okay, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 24 at the same time. And we get 4x equals 28. And then we divide by 4, and what does x equal? Okay, so we'll go up here, x equals 7. Okay. What else can I do? Good. Since they want EF, I can take 7 and plug it into EF, right? So we have 8 times 7 plus 12. What's 8 times 7? Good. And 56 plus 12 is 68. So EF is 68. Okay, in order to find this angle, and okay, what would I do to find y? What'd you say? I couldn't hear very good. So what do we know about these two angles? They are what? No, they are not congruent. They're consecutive. And what does consecutive mean? They add to be 180. Very good. And so we are going to go ahead and write this as 2y plus 8 plus 3y plus 7 equals 180. So we'd want to combine like terms. So 2 and 3 makes, good. So we have 5y plus 15 equals 180. Subtract 15 to both sides. 5y equals, and 180 minus 15 is 1. Good. And then when you divide by 5, what does it equal? 33 is correct. So y is 33, and then the last thing they asked for is angle BCD. So B to C to D is this angle right here. So what are we going to do? Plug it in. Very good. So we're going to have 3 times 33 plus 7. 3 times 33 is 99, and 99 plus 7 is 106. All right. Do we need to re-explain anything on that one? We're good? All right. You should be able to do this one on your own, except for it says find the sum of the measures. I want us to find everything. So I want you to find the sum of the measures. I want to find each, I'm going to put here, each interior angle, and I also want you to find each exterior angle. Okay? So I think that the first 3 people that get it correct should get a candy. So raise your hand once you get it. Okay. Princess, what are you watching from? Okay, I disagree. This one I agree with. Okay, perfect, you got it all. Caillou, oh, not your hands up. You are missing your interior angles, and you're also missing support here. Okay, so this is good. This is good, and then the individual interior. Perfect. Where is the sum of all of your interior? Sum of all? Oh, you just did, yeah, you just did write it down. Okay, you can, here we go. Perfect. Perfect. And you know what, you really had it, you just didn't write it down, so you can still get a candy, okay? Wait, so what is my name now? All of the angles, these are both correct. This one is not. So remember once you get it, you divide by whatever the answer is. You divide by how many sides to get your interior.
All the angles and divide by
The only one that's wrong is this one. So your exterior, it's like the whole shape is always 360 and you just divide by 2. So exterior is always the easiest to find because it's not very important. Okay. I didn't make it around to all of you. We're going to go ahead and get started. So first of all, how do I find how many degrees are in a 15 gone? Good. 15 minus 2 times, good. So 13 times 180, and that makes 2,340. Okay? Now each interior angle, what do I do to find that? Good. So this is the sum of all of my interior angles. In order to find each, we take 2340 and you divide it by however many sides there are. So we divide by 15, and you should have got 156 for each interior angle. Exterior angles are always the easiest to find. Okay, each exterior angle, all of the angles on the outside of a figure have 360, and you just divide by how many sides. So we're going to divide by 15, and that equals 24. So if I asked you, and there's a test question that actually asks you this, what is the sum of all of the exterior angles on a 15 gone? What would that answer be? 360, right? If I said what was the sum of all the exterior angles on a 52 gone, the answer would still be 360. Okay, so just be careful of that. Make sure you read the questions. All right, moving on. So we just remembered how to do all of this. And so now, let's see what you can do on this one. I'm not even going to come check. You guys can kind of show me on your hands. Each exterior angle. Well, yeah, there you go. There you go. Good, good. It's not all exterior. It's not the sum of all of them. It's an individual one. Good, 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 good. Perfect. Okay, so all we had to do on this one was take 360 and divide it by 8. And 360 divided by 8 is 45 degrees. So notice and pay attention to whether it says the sum of exterior angles or each exterior angle. So each is when you're going to end up dividing. Okay, on this next one, notice it says the measure of each interior angle. So let's see what you get. Hold on just a second. I realized that I actually didn't find the correct answer. Okay. Okay, check in your groups. Once you get the answer, see if you guys agree. There you go. Okay, so again, since it's saying each, you have to divide once you find the sum of all of them, right? And so we start with our n minus 2 times 180. A pentagon has 5 sides, so 5 minus 2 times 180, 3 times 180, and did you guys find that that was 540? And so, but that's not my answer because it doesn't say the sum of the interior angles, it says each. So we take 540 and divide by the amount of sides, and the sides in a pentagon is 5. And so 540 divided by 5 gives you 108. Okay? Any questions? All right. Okay. Find the number of sides for the convex polygon whose interior angle sum is 2,520. Okay, you guys can do this. Maybe I need to give candy for the first 3. Oh gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 16.
Hey, kids, give me a question.
There you go. What color? Red. Oh, I accidentally got your green.
Okay, so I know you guys like to use your calculators, and using calculators is fine, but you need to write down what you're doing because a lot of you are making mistakes because you're not writing down what you're doing. So what is the equation for finding the sum of the interior angles? If you guys write this stuff down, which I want to see your work, if you write it down, you should not make a mistake. Okay? Those of you that got 14 as your answer, you just had the number 14 written down because all you were doing was typing in numbers and then you messed up. Okay, so you divide by 180, and so I end up with n minus 2 equals 14, but what do I do to end up solving this? Add 2. And so I end up getting n equals 16. So the number of sides is 16. Okay? Do you understand why showing work and writing down the process is important? Yes. So even if you got the answer right, I want to see your work. Okay? If you just write 16 down on your test, I don't know if you did that or if you copied that from somebody that you're sitting by. Okay. Next problem. Let's see what you can do. Again, write down what you're doing.
No. So remember all exterior 360. So like if there's no way the answer could be more than 360 because that's the sum of all exteriors. Good. I'm not making any this time because no, man. That's it. Oh wait, no. Wrong. Yes.
Oh my god, I know.
There you go. You got carried. No. You are thinking on the right track, but how do you get rid of the n in the denominator? What would be the, how do you get rid of any fraction? So you multiply by n to both sides, that cancels out the n, and then you divide.
Okay. Good. All right. So what is the formula for finding exterior angles? Okay, so do I know the number of sides right now? No. And so what we do is we go 360 divided by n equals 12. So we know that 360 divided by something equals 12. Mathematically solving this, Josh, what would I do to get rid of the n in the denominator? You would multiply by n to both sides, because that would cancel the n's out. Just like when we're doing the trapezoid, how we multiply by 2 to both sides to get rid of the fraction. Okay, so I have 360 equals 12n, and then what do I do to solve for n? Divide by 12. And so that you could punch in your calculator, and 360 divided by 12 equals 30. Now, there is a shortcut, but if you just write the process each time, you shouldn't get it wrong, right? So if we write what we're doing, we should be okay. All right, any questions?